Hello everyone. In the previous video, I have discussed about the circulatory and the excretory system. Now in this video, I am going to discuss about the nervous system and the reproductive system. Here we are talking about the nervous system of earthworm, which is ganglionated. Means the nervous system of earthworm is ganglionated, which means that it is made up of or it includes ganglia. Now what is ganglia now? So ganglia is formed. It is a structure which is formed by aggregation or collection or gathering of nerves of a particular segment. Means in each segment what happens, the nerves aggregate or they collect together and it forms the ganglia. Now these ganglias are arranged on the ventral side of the body of the earthworm. That is on the ventral side of the body of earthworm after the fifth segment, starting from the, let us say, after fifth segment till the last segment. Means what over here? We are talking about the nervous system of earthworm, that it is ganglionated, means it is made up of ganglia which is formed by gathering or collection of the nerves of each segment. These ganglia are arranged on the ventral side or ventrally in each segment after fifth segment to the last segment. Now each segment over here, each of the ganglia or each segmental ganglia are made up of actually two ganglia which are fused together, एक साथ जुड़ गए हैं, which is now known as what? Ventral nerve cord. Now there is a structure which is called as nerve ring. Let us first understand and then we will come to the nerve ring, but I have given the topic here as nerve ring, how it is formed. Let's have a look first of all in the figure. Now if you see over here, this is called as cerebral ganglia or otherwise suprapharyngeal ganglia. ये ऊपर के साइड में है, dorsal side of the pharynx. This is dorsal side of the pharynx. In between over here what you can see, this light color triangular part, this is a space actually through which the pharynx passes. You can just have a look in the other figure over here. This is the pharynx, and on either side, on the, let us understand first on the dorsal side here, dorsal side of the pharynx is located here suprapharyngeal ganglia which are paired, means दो है यहाँ पे, and both of them are fused together. So this is called as suprapharyngeal ganglia, or it is also called as cerebral ganglia. Now on the ventral side, little bit on the posterior side, if you see the position of the suprapharyngeal on the dorsal side and the one I am talking here on the ventral side, which is called as now subpharyngeal ganglia. डोर्सल साइड पे क्या था? सुप्रा था. यहाँ पे क्या बात कर रहे हैं? सबफेरेंजियल गैंग्लिया. नाउ both these subpharyngeal ganglia and the suprapharyngeal ganglia are connected with the help of a connective. Now this connective is called as circumpharyngeal connective. So that means over here once again what happens? What you can see in the figure here, these are ganglia here, 1, 2, 3 like that. These ganglia are there in each segment. Here we are talking the ganglia that is formed here, that is subpharyngeal ganglia, and on the dorsal side is suprapharyngeal ganglia, also called as cerebral ganglia. Both of these structures are joined by a nerve or connective which is called as circumpharyngeal connective. So as a result of that, if you see here, three components are coming together. एक कौन सा है? ऊपर का, यानी कि डोर्सल साइड पे cerebral ganglia, or otherwise also called as suprapharyngeal ganglia. On the ventral side is subpharyngeal ganglia, and on the sides you can say, because in the center over here passes the pharynx. So on either side of the pharynx is present the suprapharyngeal connective in order to connect the dorsal and the ventral ganglia here. And then after that, starting from the fifth, you can say fifth segment से लेके what is there, ganglias are present in each segment. And these ganglia, what we said here, actually are paired, they are fused together, and this is called as what, nerve cord, ventral nerve cord. And from these ganglias, what happens, the nerves arise which is innervated or supplied into the nearby part of the body or nearby organs of the body. Look into the figure here in the other one. What you can see here, this is on the dorsal side, ventral side, and ये इधर देखो दिखाई दे रहा है थोड़ा हल्का, this is the connective, what we said here, that is suprapharyngeal connective. As a result of that, a nerve ring is formed. nerve ring में once again क्या क्या है, एक suprapharyngeal ganglia आ गया, नीचे का dorsal ventral side पे subpharyngeal ganglia, and then connectives are there which connects the suprapharyngeal ganglia with the subpharyngeal ganglia. And then behind this now, starting just after the subpharyngeal ganglia, there are ganglias present in each segment, and from these ganglias, what happens, the nerves are formed or nerves arise and they innervate or are supplied into the nearby organs or the nearby parts of the body of the earthworm here. Now how does it function? How does it function? So here we said what, cerebral ganglia or otherwise the suprapharyngeal ganglia. So here cerebral ganglia along with other nerves in the ring, that is in the nerve ring, they integrate sensory inputs as well as they give command to the muscles of the body, so that the muscles are going to apply that, and as a result of that they bring out the movement of their body. First of all, it is, what is that, cerebral ganglia along with other nerves, together they integrate the sensory reception, means whatever sensation is there, according to that they have to give response, and that response is given by the muscle, and this has to be first of all sent with the impulse, the signal from the nervous system. And nervous system over here we are talking about the cerebral ganglia and the nerves which are connected or which are present in the nerve ring. In case of the sensation, that is the sensory system, it is not well developed. They do not have any eyes, they cannot see things around them, only they have some sensory cells. These sensory cells are present on the body wall and they mainly have the function to perform as what, sensory reception और sensory receptor organ की तरह काम करना. It possesses light and touch sensitive organ. Light and touch sensitive organ, that is in the form of receptor cells. To distinguish between the light intensity and light intensity means what, the light and the dark, you can say. It can differentiate between the light and the darkness. Intensity over here you understand as, let us say in the morning, if you can see the earthworm on some wet soil, and slowly as the intensity of the sunlight increases, so what happens here, earthworms cannot resist that. So as a result of they have to as a result of that they have to move somewhere into the burrow and hide themselves under the soil, and they have the sensation, means they can feel the vibration of the earth, that is the vibration of the ground here, and they are having some specialized receptors which are sensitive to chemicals. That means they are having chemoreceptors which is also responsible for taste this is also what, taste receptors, which react to some chemical stimuli which is found or located around them. And these sense organs are located mainly on the anterior part of their body. Anterior part means what, the first segment, second segment, nearby this area these nerves are present here. So that was about what, nervous system of the earthworm. Now coming to the reproductive system of earthworm. Now when we talk about the reproductive system, male and female reproductive system is found, and both of these systems are found in the same individual. Means what? Earthworms are hermaphrodite. This is a term given to an animal or an organism which has or possesses both the sex organ or both the reproductive systems in the same body, and that's why it is referred to as, either you can call as bisexual or otherwise hermaphrodite. Here for animal mainly hermaphrodite term is utilized. Now coming to the first, the male reproductive system. In case of the male reproductive system, what happens? Two pair of testes is present, and these are located in the 10th and 11th segment. Just have a look in this figure. This is one testis, 10th segment, and this is another one, 11th segment. So here two pair of testes. Here in 10th, one pair, one on left and one right side, and on the 11th segment, one on the left and right segment. Now here in 10th and 11th segment, what happened? One pair of testes, means 10th में एक pair है, 11th में एक pair है. So total two pair of testes is present here. Now from the testes arises a tube which is called as what? Vas differentia. Which is called as vas differentia, starting from, let us say here in case of the 10th segment and from 11th segment, what happened? It starts and comes down till the 18th segment. If you remember, earlier we have discussed about the male genital opening or male genital pore, which is located in the 18th segment on the ventrolateral side. On the ventrolateral side, what is located here? Male genital opening is located. So here, once again, I am repeating every time. What is that? Testis is located in the 10th and 11th segment. From here starts the vas efferentia and it runs till the 18th segment. Now in the 18th segment here, it joins with the duct coming from prostate gland. Prostate duct, you can see here. Prostate gland is here, and from that a duct is coming which is joining with the vas efferentia. And as a result of that, now that will be called as what? Common prostate and spermatic duct. Common prostate and spermatic duct. And then there is one more gland over here, which is the accessory gland. Means two pair of accessory glands are there, which is present. One pair is present in the 17th segment and one pair is present in the 19th segment. So this also receives, means the common spermatic duct or common prostate and spermatic duct, it receives the secretion from these accessory glands also. Can you see the position of accessory gland here? Accessory gland over here, one in 17th segment and another one in the 19th segment here. So from here also what happens? The secretion is received into this spermatic duct. Now, as I mentioned earlier and we have discussed earlier also, that the male genital opening or the pore is present in the 18th segment and it is located on the ventrolateral side of 18th segment. So here what happens? The vas efferentia or vas differentia, it has joined with the duct coming from prostate and also from the accessory duct. Now that can be called as what? Common prostate and spermatic duct. It opens to the exterior by or through the male genital opening. Male genital opening के थ्रू वो बॉडी के बाहर खुलता है, and that is located on the ventrolateral side of 18th segment. ये हमने बात किया है किसके बारे में? मेल रिप्रोडक्टिव सिस्टम के बारे में. जरा यहाँ नोट करें फिगर में वंस अगेन 6th, 7th, 8th एंड 9th सेगमेंट. there are 4 pair of spermatheca. There are 4 pair of spermatheca which is located here in the 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th segment. Means what? 1 pair in each segment. अब इनका काम क्या है? This is present to receive or collect the gamete, that is the male gamete, from another earthworm during copulation. During the copulation, what happens? See, they are having both the reproductive system in the same body, same individual, but they are not able to self-fertilize because the position of these, you can say, spermatheca and the male genital pore, which is located in the 18th segment, are quite far away, and as a result of that, it is not possible to transfer the male gamete into the spermatheca. You also know about the female genital pore, which is present in the 14th segment, and that also in the mid-ventral side, mid-ventral line mein hai. So as a result of that, it is not possible, and for that reason what happens? Two earthworms come opposite to each other, and during that time they cross fertilize each other. Means they pass the male gamete into the other member. So here what I was talking, spermatheca. Spermatheca is located in 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th segment, and they are in pair. Means 4 pair of spermathecas are present, which is or which receives the spermatozoa and store it. Is it right? They receive during copulation and then store it, and when the female reproductive system produces the ovum or the egg, at that time these sperms are packed into, the sperm and the egg both are packed into the cocoon and then passed outside the body, deposited somewhere in the soil, in which the fertilization and further developmental process of the young one or the embryo takes place outside the body. Now let's come to the female reproductive system. Female reproductive system first. First let's see in the figure first of all. In the figure, if you see here in the 12th and 13th segment का जो septum है, 12th and 13th segment का septum है, so to the septum is attached a pair of ovary, and just below that is located the ovarian funnel, one coming from, let us say, left ovary, other coming from the right ovary, and then they both join together in the 14th segment, and then it opens outside the body through the female genital pore, and this female genital pore is located at the mid-ventral line of the body, and that also in which segment? 14th segment. Once again, what is that? The septum between 12th and 13th segment. To that is attached a pair of ovary, and just below the ovary is located the ovarian follicle, ovarian funnel, one coming from the left ovary, the other coming from the right ovary. They join together in the 14th segment and then open outside through the genital pore, which is the female genital pore. Now here in this case, what we have discussed, the male genital pore in 18th segment, and they are in pair. They are in pair, located on ventrolateral side, and female genital pore is single, which is located in the mid ventral line of the 14th segment. And so what happens here, there is no possibility that they can self fertilize themselves. So what happens, they have to find a partner where both of them have mutual exchange of sperm between two earthworms. Look into this figure here. You can see one earthworm is here and one over here. The anterior, that is the head part, you can say, the first segment is located here on the right side, the other one is having on the left side. So this position over here is called as juxtaposition or juxtaposing. In this what happens, 18th segment, 18th segment is having the male genital pore. And then also we discussed over here in this figure that 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th segment, they are having sperm ethica. So as a result of that, what happens, the sperm ethica has to come opposite. Any of these four pair of sperm ethica has to come opposite to the male genital pore or the opening. So as a result of that, the male gamete is passed from one worm to the other worm. And as a result of that, what happens, both these earthworms, they cross fertilize each other, means they exchange the gamete between each other. One has to pass into the other has to pass into the first one. Now coming further, okay, where is the sperm collected, or where is the male gamete received? So male gamete is received in any of the segment here, either 6th, 7th, 8th or 9th segment where the sperm ethica is located. So what happens here, the mature sperm and eggs and the nutritive fluid, they are deposited in the cocoon, which is produced by the glands of the clitellum. If you remember clitellum, let's have a look in this figure itself. What happens here, let us say after the exchange of the male gamete here, they get separated from each other. So at that time, the female reproductive system, that is the ovary, produces the ovum. Now this ovum has to pass outside. In the figure, let's have a look. Ovary, यहाँ से क्या हुआ, eggs or the ovum has to come into ovarian follicle and then it has to go outside body through the female genital pore. But before that eggs are laid out, what happens here? Now this we are talking in 14th segment, and if you remember, clitellum is located in 14th, 15th and 16th segment. Here specialized glands are there which secretes a secretion which is responsible or which has a function to pack the ovum. And when this packing is taking place, at that time what happens, the sperm cells which had been collected in the sperm ethica, it slides backward. From the sperm ethica, what happens, the sperm cell, they slide backward and reach into the 14th segment, where along with the ovum, the sperm cells are packed into a cocoon. And before, what happened, before it is released outside the body or before it is passed outside the body, what happens, these cocoons are sealed and they are deposited in the soil, where outside the body of the earthworm, these gametes are going to get fertilized. Means fertilization over here is external. Fertilization over here is external, and after fertilization the zygote will be formed which has to develop into embryo, and the earthworms, that means the baby earthworms, they have to come out of the eggs here. And all this takes place after around 3 weeks or 21 days, let us say, after the eggs are laid out. तो 21 days के बाद क्या हुआ कि ककून में से क्या होंगे, अर्थवर्म, बेबी अर्थवर्म्स आर गोइंग टू कम आउट, एंड दीज बेबी अर्थवर्म्स रिजेंबल देयर अडल्ट फॉर्म. अडल्ट फॉर्म की तरह दिखते हैं. मतलब ये हुआ कि देयर इज नो इन्वॉल्वमेंट ऑफ लार्वल स्टेजेस. कोई लार्वल स्टेज यहाँ पर नहीं है, इसलिए हम बोल सकते हैं कि डेवलपमेंट इज डायरेक्ट टाइप. डेवलपमेंट है वो डायरेक्ट है. अब एक चीज है कि आफ्टर 3 वीक्स और लेटर से 21 डेज के बाद क्या हो रहा है, ककून में से बेबी अर्थवर्म्स कम आउट. नाउ हाउ मेनी विल बी देयर? अराउंड 2 to 20 बेबी अर्थवर्म्स कम आउट फ्रॉम वन ककून विथ एन एवरेज ऑफ 4. लेट अस से एक ककून में से एवरेज 4 आएंगे, बट मैक्सिमम कैन बी 20, मिनिमम कैन बी 2 इवन, बट एवरेज मेक्स टू 4 baby earthworms from one cocoon. And because there is no involvement of the larval stages, and due to that the development can be called as a direct method. Where is the fertilization taking place? Fertilization is external. So what I said here, fertilization is external, right? Once again, what is that? The male and the female gamete, they are fertilized inside the cocoon, no doubt. But this cocoon has been passed out of the body of the earthworm. So that means the fertilization is external or otherwise outside the body. And further development also is outside the body, and development of what I said here is direct type, because the baby earthworm that come out of the cocoon are similar to the adult ones. Now coming to the end of the topic for earthworm is how they are useful, how earthworms are utilized. So earthworms are also called as friends of farmers. Now why they are called as friends of farmers? The reason is that they live in the soil. They live in the soil. Their food is the humus or organic material which is formed by the decay of the leaves, branches, twigs, etc., which is found in the soil. So when they eat this humus, what happens? They help in the decomposition, further decomposition. They move into the soil, come out of the soil, and during that time they make the soil loose. Means they help in loosening of the soil. Means the soil becomes porous here, and as a result of that, the air can penetrate into the deeper part of the soil where the roots are in need of oxygen. Means roots को air चाहिए, oxygen चाहिए for respiration. So that air can enter into the soil because the soil is being loosened by the earthworms, and as a result of that the roots can develop well, and they can efficiently take part in the absorption of water and mineral salt, which is then made available to the plants. Now earthworms nowadays are utilized as fertilizers, and this is called as what? Vermicomposting. Means what? The earthworms, let us say, are collected from the fields, agricultural field or otherwise from the gardens, and then they are grown, and for that the raw material that is used here is, let us say, cow dung. Heap of cow dung is kept in that. Earthworms are brought from the field and they are kept into this, and then what happened? They keep on growing into this heap of cow dung. They increase their population and number, and after that, let us say, after it has decomposed, this compost manure is added, or it is transported to the field, agricultural field, where these earthworms are going to help in further breakdown of the organic compound, organic material, and help in the what we said here, loosening of the soil. लूजनिंग ऑफ सॉइल में वो क्या करेंगे? हेल्प करेंगे, एंड एज अ रिजल्ट ऑफ दैट द सॉइल बिकम्स मोर फर्टाइल. वन मोर यूज ऑफ दिस अर्थवर्म इज इन फिशिंग. फिशिंग करते हैं तो उसमें क्या बोलते हैं? हुक्स होते हैं. सो दीज अर्थवर्म्स आर फिक्स्ड इनटू द हुक्स, and when these hooks are lowered into the water, at that time the fishes are attracted. When they come near to the hook, what happens? They pull the hook, and as a result of that the person comes to know that the fish is pulling the fish has come near to the hook, and suddenly when they pull the hook, that is the fishing rod, जब खींचते हैं तो what happens? The sharp edge of the hook, it pierces into the mouth part of the fish, and then the fish comes along with the fishing rod. That means what? Here I am talking here about what? Earthworms के use क्या है? तो they are also used as a bait. Bait मतलब चारा देना. Bait in game fishing. दूसरा हमने बात किया वर्मी कंपोस्ट के बारे में. And friends of farmer बोलते हैं because they help the farmer to make the soil porous and more fertile, so that the plants, agricultural crops can grow better, and productivity of these crops increases, or it is increased because of the earthworms. So that was about the earthworm. Thank you.